life without the possibility of parole plus 20 years. And William Roddy Bryan was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 10 years. So we asked our viewers what they thought of the sentences. Still with me, appellate and trial attorney Matthew Barhoma. And Matthew, our first comment comes from Pamela Gonzalez. Pamela says, "Justice has been served. Thank you, Judge, for doing what so many others have failed to do." And of course, she's responding to Matthew, the idea that, it took 3 DAs to even begin to get this thing rolling. They had to get prosecutors from from Cobb County, a whole different part of Georgia, to come in and prosecute this case. But certainly, it feels like justice has been done.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I gotta agree with this one because I feel like there's a lot of solidence that we've received today, or a feeling that the system got it right here. So I think that this judge, calculated a really good outcome and handed down just the appropriate sentence given the conduct.
Yeah, and the best part about it was he gave a very reasoned explanation as to why he made the decisions he did. Tough to quibble with the things that he had to say. Our next viewer writes, and I guess he echoes what I just said, "I love this judge. He is a true man of honor who stands for what is right." And others online actually echoed that view, praising the judge for his behavior. Linda Giron wrote, "I love this judge, not just for today's sentencing, but for how he was on the bench during the trial." And Matthew, you touched on it a little earlier, and I've talked about it throughout that trial, how I thought, I'm not sure you could have had a better judge, because this was a guy that I thought really played it straight, played it down the middle, really kept everyone in check, explained all the things and rulings that he made. If you're talking about a judge to make people have confidence in the system, I thought Judge Walmsley was really that guy.
Absolutely. I thought that all the way through as we were reporting on this every step of the way. He was very fair. He was very calculated. And, one of the biggest things you got to keep in mind about this judge in particular is he's very reminiscent. He looks a lot like the defendants. And here, he did what was right. I think he handed down a very fair sentence, despite complexion, despite anything, despite any kind of, racism or anything implicated in this case. He focused on the facts. He focused on the moments right after the shooting when he was handing down his sentence. These are the things that he quoted. And so, this was a very fair judge, and he went a very, far route to make sure that he got it right. And I think he did.
Yeah, I have only one question about his sentencing choice. The jury treated Travis and Greg differently. They didn't convict them both on the malice murder. I think I understand why. Certainly Travis pulled the triggers, the others didn't. And I thought maybe the judge might treat Greg differently than Travis, and he did not. Any thoughts on that?
I think that he really went back and looked at exactly how everyone championed this, okay? What were their reactions right after this? And I think that they really championed, this death. And I think that he treated that. He saw that, he heard it, and he treated it. Whereas with William, I think that the culpability level is a little different. And so, out of the abundance of caution and to be very fair, he divided them up correctly.
All right, I have to agree with you. It seems like, again, a fair and just outcome to this entire fiasco. All right, Matthew Barhoma, thank you so much for joining me this evening. Always appreciate your presence on the show. I'm going to let you go. You have a great evening. Michael.